But your value proposition, I think, is to the emergency video surveillance market.
Well, that certainly is the entry
You gave
point.
me a whole list of different application areas, but I think you're at least for the foreseeable future,
Right.
I would zero in on the emergency video surveillance market and forget about sports event reporting, which is a completely different go-to-market strategy. Medical operations, medical school, medical education on surgeries and stuff, completely different go-to-market strategies. The problem with going after too many market segments is the go-to-market strategies are completely different.
Right. I'm curious, like, why are you saying that medical will be very different, and what is it? What are the challenges in getting into a medical versus, or as you said, sports?
Well, I think let's walk through the medical go-to-market strategy. You're going to have to sell your solution to the medical schools, probably, right? So it's a direct sales. Your security solution is most likely a sale through a system integrator channel, like you've told me.
Yes.
Right? That's a system integrator based go-to-market strategy, which gives you more leverage in some sense. You can work with multiple system integrators and be able to access. If you have 5 system integrators working with you, you can cover a lot more territory very quickly and get into these. Whereas the medical schools, you may need to sell directly. I don't know if there are consultants that work on distance learning applications in medical schools. Then you may. That's another. But in general, I think for a startup company, you cannot do all of them at once.
Right.
You have to pick one, and it
Yeah.
sounds like your sharpest value proposition, where you pick where the problem is the sharpest and your solution is the most powerful.
Right.
And that's why I asked you, as you were running through the application areas, I asked you right away, what do you think is the sharpest segment for you,
Yeah,
sharpest
I think that's
use
a good
case?
question,
So
yes.
emergency video surveillance for security applications is your sharpest value proposition. That's where I would focus. Okay, Praneetha? Okay, next is Sachin.
Actually, my co-founder will be presenting.
Do you want to switch? Sure. The name of the company is Nuptulia. Can you make it a shorter name? It's very difficult to
Actually, that was one of our questions
One of our
to you.
questions.
Yes. What do you think of the name?
It's too long. It's too long. It doesn't work. Especially if you're trying to build a consumer brand, it doesn't work. This name doesn't work.
Thanks for the input. Okay, so let's actually just start with what market we're targeting. So just looking at the United States wedding market, it's like there are 2.2 million weddings that happen every year.
You get married a lot, get divorced a lot, get married again.
That's good for us.
So it's like a $60 billion market, but that's not all, right? So in the US, they're spending an average of $1,000 per wedding on like wedding consultants, personal assistants. So it's like a $2.24 billion market just for consultants and wedding planning sort of thing. So I mean, just looking at what we can offer in terms of like a virtual personal assistant is, I mean, this market we think is very ripe for disruption. There are a lot of opportunities out there.
How much would you charge for this virtual personal assistant?
So we can go through our roadmap and just sort of see.
But like if it's $1,000 current spending, how are you going to go to the 10th of that?
Yeah, very, very limited. Because we want to offer like free products such as scheduling, things like that, some premium products, like commerce solutions. We pretty much want to look at your, the Web 3.0 formula, community commerce, the whole thing, and then charge minimal. And we think that there really could be something to this. If we can personalize, schedule, build a whole community around it. So just looking at our roadmap, right? Just starting with the base of the pyramid, we want to do contact management, checklist, some print invitations, share with your family. Especially like personalization, you just mentioned, it's sort of, just on the surface. So I could just put saying, my favorite color is pink and, I love roses, and then we can personalize vendors around it and themes around it.
So you're going to assimilate a group of vendors that provide all these different services from invitations to
exactly, that's
registries and all of that stuff.
Right. So we want everything sort of in one place. Like we're just looking at our competitors.
And this doesn't exist. The
No.
knots and
They have some sort of some theme around the tools, but none of them are positioned as a personal assistant,
Yeah.
and that's what we're going after.
okay.
We're just
So
going
then-
after the personal assistant part of it, not the entire platform of services that all the other vendors offer.
Right.
So conceivably, you could private label personal
Absolutely.
assistant for bridal for all of these companies as well. You could do it for Macy's or even.
Right.
Yeah?
Exactly.
Okay.
So we sort of also wanted like an aggregated solution, or it's just like a one-stop shop. So just moving, we
So
have
you're using the written commerce principle on this
yeah,
context,
on this,
on the
exactly.
wedding context.
Yeah. By the way, I do work for Reardon Commerce, so it's core
It
person
just so
strength.
happens to be.
That's a good place to learn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect.
Exactly. So just looking at it, then we want to go get our vendors and vendor listings, premium products, e-commerce. So just you can shop,
Yeah.
personalize the whole thing, and then we want to eventually do a global expansion. And this is some of the questions we have a little later, which we can go with. So we wanted to keep this pitch really small so we can get more feedback and more time for feedback. But just some of the business model we've already discussed is premium subscriptions, or I don't know, some budgeting, or if you're saving X number of money, then we can charge for that. I mean, these are just ideas out there. We're pretty much just doing a product definition at this stage.
Right, and actually, the question we have for you around this is, do we actually target the brides, or do we go after the wedding planners who are working with paper today? Because I've spoken to a couple of wedding planners.
How many wedding planners out there in the US?
There's, so like we said, it's a $2.24 billion market.
We don't know the exact.
We don't know the exact
Yeah.
number, but there are thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of wedding planners.
Yeah, so that's a question that so I would do a TAM analysis and see, if it's I have no idea, to be perfectly honest with you, I have no idea how many wedding planners there are. But it's going to be, they are making $1,000 today.
Exactly.
So if you're going through the wedding planners, then you have to let them make their $1,000, and you're going to take $100 off that and make it's a profitability value proposition, as opposed to to the bride it's going to be a cost saving value proposition,
Exactly.
right? I think. And where do wedding planners hang out?
At all the wedding conventions. Actually, we're going to one on the 20th of September.
So there are wedding conventions.
Yes,
They're
all the
big
time.
Wedding expos, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they sell everything, all the way from cosmetics to bridal jewelry
Yeah,
to dresses, everything. And then the planners hang out there as well.
So my answer to your question, whether to go for the brides or to the wedding planners, is I would like to see a TAM analysis. If you see in a TAM, if there are enough wedding planners, and if there is a way where if there's a place where they congregate,
Right.
AKA the wedding convention, that may be the easiest way to go to market.
Right.
And then the other thing I would do is do deals directly with the retailers who do wedding registries.
Right.
That one you can go directly to the brides.
Okay.
So if you can, the problem we have with consumer-oriented businesses is that consumers have become very spoiled. On the internet, they've become used to getting everything for free. So it's very difficult to yank them out of that bad habit of getting everything for free. The whole news industry, the media industry is falling apart because of this, because they cannot support the production cost of content, of high quality content, while consumers expect everything for free. So this has to change, but it's not going to change right away. It's going to take some time. It's going to, over the next decade, I believe, the content industry is going to have to say that no, we cannot give this to you for free, and there's going to be evolutions in that business model, but you cannot as a startup, you cannot base yourself on that assumption. So my bias right now in advising startups that are currently going into market, I would say avoid businesses which will expect you to deliver free services. All your what is it, not, right?
Yeah, they're not.
The not and
Right.
brides.com, all these guys, and everything there is free.